Okay, so for anybody that's just joined, I was just explaining that we're going to work into the hips today. So we'll go on a journey outer hips, front hip flexors, round the back, glutes, hamstrings, and the insides of the thighs as well. I've done this class before. I've changed it a little bit, as I always do, but some of you might recognise some of the transitions. So we do tend to move a lot from one side of the mat to the other and then back to front. It can get a bit confusing, but that is intentional when I designed the sequence, because part of working with the hips is being able to flow with life and kind of deal with what comes up as it comes up, and notice how that is for you. So there is a bit of an intentional unfamiliarity with what we're doing, and it's just to see how you respond. And if you forget your left and your right, because I'm probably going to, then notice how that is for you. And maybe, if you get yourself all pissed off, then maybe you can have a bit of a laugh and just roll about, and we'll join again. Because as always with yoga, the most important thing is that you know that you need it and that you arrive at class. And as long as you're even just breathing consciously for the hour and 15 minutes, that's enough. Everything else is a bonus. So there's no pressure, just have a bit of fun. We're going to move, breathe, and maybe do some things that you never thought you could. So let's come into... we'll get the core fired up first of all. So come onto your backs. And just taking a few moments here, excuse me. Let's take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and let it go through the mouth. 2 more of those, and just feel those points where the body is in contact with the floor, and allow the weight of your body to press down into the floor. A little more with each of those tension releasing exhalations. And when you've taken those 3, let's just spend a few moments checking in on a physical and emotional level. So just asking yourself how you are this morning, what's going on. Really pay attention to any particular niggles, any areas of tension, any conflict that you might have going on in any way. Note that it's there. Pay attention to the fact that you might have some niggles, some limitations, and let's work with what you've got. And it may be that you can use the class, use the power of your yang yoga, this power class, to maybe transform some of that stuckness, that difficulty. Certainly when we're working in such a flowing way as we're going to be today in the class, in the hips, you might be able to let go of some physical tension, and when that resides in the hips, often it can be linked to emotional tension. So maybe we could get rid of some stuck emotions today, some of that crap that you'd like to let go of, that maybe hasn't felt possible until now. Let's use the power of your practice to help you let go and feel amazing. Okay, so if you practice Ujjayi breath, bring that in now. So powerful inhalations and exhalations through the nose, making quite a loud sound on your exhalation by constricting the back of the throat as you breathe out and pulling those abdominal muscles down so that you feel the deep core starting to work. And if you don't practice Ujjayi and you're not sure what the hell I'm going on about, just breathe in and out through your nostrils. That's fine. Three more here. And again. Okay, so continue breathing like this, and we're going to get straight into the abdominals. So 3 sets of abdominals today. First of all, bring your knees up above the hips, the feet out in front, point those feet away and flex the toes and open the toes so that you've got your active feet. I'm just going to double check the sound's okay on YouTube while I set you up here. Multitasking, not a strong point of mine, I have to say. And then we're going to take the hands, interlace the fingers around the back of the head. Have your thumbs just down the back, down the sides of the neck. Just make sure that you've got no tension in the neck there. We've got the elbows lifted up so that you can see them, and then we're going to curl up head and shoulders, lifting up through the armpits, through the elbows, and pulling your lower ribs towards the floor so you activate upper abdominals. Let's do 5 here. So inhale in, curl up head and shoulders, lift up through armpits and elbows. Hold your breath, and as you press your lower back down, you'll curl your tailbone up. Exhale through the nostrils as you pull your lower belly to the floor. Inhale in, curl up head and shoulders. Hold the breath, flatten out lower back, curl the tailbone up. Exhale, pull lower belly down. Inhale, lift up through head and shoulders. Hold the breath, curl the tailbone up. Exhale, pull lower belly down. And again, curling up head and shoulders. Inhale through the nose. Hold the breath, curl the tailbone up. Exhale, pull lower belly down. Inhale, bring everything back to the floor. And exhale in here. So starting to feel those deep core muscles working hard, bringing in the fire. Okay, so this one is a real bitch, I'm sorry, but it does feel good at the same time. So we're going to cross your right knee over the left. If you can hook your foot around the heel or the calf there, the ankle or the calf, do so, but it doesn't matter if you can't, just as long as those legs are squeezing together. So you've got options. You can keep that left foot on the ground, or if you want a bit more, you can lift the feet up. And then we're going to bring both hands, so take one hand on top of the other, and then we're going to press the hands onto the thigh, quite close to the groin, so up near the hip crease there. Keep the head down this time. And from here, we're going to inhale through the nose. Hold the breath, curl the tailbone up and press onto your thighs as well as pushing the thighs onto the hand. And then exhale, pull your lower belly down. Inhale in. So press with the hands and then resist with the thighs. Exhale, pull lower belly down. 3 more. Inhale in, fill up. Hold the breath, curl the tailbone up. Press and resist. Exhale, pull lower belly down. Well done. Keep the neck relaxed. Shoulder blades on the ground. Inhale, nice big breath in. Hold the breath, curl tailbone up, that lower back flat. Press the hands onto the thighs, resist, exhale, pull lower belly down. 1 more. Hold the breath, curl tailbone up, press, resist, and pull lower belly down on the exhalation. Inhale, release, uncross the legs. Exhale, let this one go through the mouth. You've earned it. Well done. So we're starting to connect the legs and the core, trying to help you understand that deep connection. It's going to help you later on in the class. So crossing left knee over right. If you can take a wrap underneath that right leg there, then do so. You can have the feet down or you can have them lifted up. If the wrap isn't there for you, just press the legs together. And then we're going to bring the hands on top of one another, pressing those hands into the top of that left thigh. We're going to inhale. Hold the breath, curl tailbone up, feel lower back flatten out. Press and resist and exhale, pull lower belly down. Inhale in. Hold the breath, curl tailbone up, press, resist, exhale, pull lower belly down. 3 more. Keep the neck relaxed. Give the head a little rock side to side. Hold the breath. Curl the tailbone up. Press and resist. Exhale, pull lower belly down. Well done, Em. That looks amazing. Nice and strong. We've got 2 more here. Feel that power deep inside. Well done. This is great for your back. Okay, we've just got 1 more. Hold the breath, curl tailbone up, press and resist with the thighs. Exhale, pull lower belly down. Inhale, uncross, bring everything to the floor. Exhale, let it go through the mouth. Woohoo! Okay, well done. Oh, God. I kind of love and hate these. Fine line, I guess. Right, we're going to do 1 more abdominal exercise just to get that core well and truly engaged. So, because we're working with the hips, we're going to come into frog abs. So, if you have a wall, then I recommend that you go to the wall and we're going to take the legs into frog position. So we're going to have the knees wide and those feet directly out in front of your knees. So this is if you've got a wall. If you haven't got a wall, just assume this same position. It's fine. You don't need the wall. It just makes it a little extra delicious. So from here, bring yourself into frog position. Remember, you don't need a wall. You'll still get a lot from this if you don't have the wall. And then we're going to bring the hands and interlace the fingers around the back of the neck here. We're going to inhale as we curl up. Hold the breath, curl the tailbone up. If you've got the wall, press the wall with the feet and exhale, pull lower belly down. Inhale, lift up through head and shoulders. Hold the breath, curl your tailbone up. And as you exhale, press and pull the lower belly down. Inhale, lift up. Hold the breath, curl the tailbone up. Press the feet into the wall if you have that. And as you exhale, pull lower belly down. 3 more. Inhale, lift up through armpits and elbows. Hold the breath, curl the tailbone up. If you have a wall, press the wall. Exhale, pull lower belly down. 2 more. Inhale, curl up head and shoulders. Hold the breath, curl the tailbone up. If you have a wall, press the wall. If not, just curl tailbone up. Exhale, pull lower belly down. 1 more. Inhale, curl up. Hold the breath, curl the tailbone up. If you have a wall, press it. And then exhale, pull lower belly down. And release. Whew. Okay. Amazing, guys. Well done. Well done. Okay, coming back onto your mat. So we know what it feels like for the core to be working hard and how the legs can influence what you feel in your core. This is really important for later on in the class. Get your block or your alternative block prop. Have the ankles underneath the knees. We're going to come into kind of a half bridge pose. So those who've practiced with me before know what's coming here. So we're going to do 5 breaths with the toes pointing forward, and then we're going to do 5 breaths with the toes at 45 degrees. And we're going to do some wrist stretching at the same time. So from here, lift up about halfway to your maximum. Keep the upper body relaxed. Toes pointing ahead. So we'll just do 1 to get you used to the motion of squeezing the block. So inhaling as we as we open up into the lungs. Hold the breath, squeeze the block, press your heels into the ground, and as you exhale, lift up the hips a tiny bit higher. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. From here, I'd like you to take hold of your thumb on the left hand with your right fingers and pull that thumb back. Inhaling. Hold the breath, squeeze the block, and press the heels into the ground. Exhale, lift. Now take hold of your first finger and pull it back. Inhaling. Hold the breath, squeeze the block, push the heels down, exhale, maybe lift those hips a little higher. Go into middle finger, pull back, inhale in. Hold the breath, squeeze the block, push the heels down, maybe drag those heels back as you exhale and lift the hips a little higher. Number 4, pulling your ring finger back. Hold the breath, squeeze the block, tuck the tail, press the heels down, drag them back, exhale in. Taking your little finger, squeeze, press, exhale and pull back. Well done. So we're going to turn those toes to 45 degrees. Now taking hold of your right thumb with your left fingers. Pull it back, inhale. Tuck the tail, squeeze the block, press the heels down, drag back. You should be feeling this more into the outer hips now. Now taking hold of your first finger, pull back, push the wrist away, inhale in. Squeeze as you hold the breath, press the heels down, drag them back, exhale. Take hold of your middle finger, pull back, inhale, lift, squeeze the block, press the heels down, drag them back as you exhale. We've got 2 more here, so try to avoid going into cramp. Ease off a little bit if you need to. Inhale and pull that ring finger back. Squeeze the block, press the heels into the ground, and then drag those heels back as you exhale. We've got 1 more. Little finger, pull back, tuck the tail, squeeze the block, press the heels down, drag them back, exhale. Well done. We're going to inhale as you come down, release the hands. So just a bit of a wrist stretch there, as well as working glutes and hamstrings. Okay, so we're getting fired up. This is nice. So, now we've got everything warmed up. Let's do a spinal rock to seated, and then come to the top of your mat with the hands as you push back into downward facing dog. So we're just going to open up those hip flexors, and we're going to test the strength in either side of the body. So lifting your right leg high, bend the knee, open the hips, draw that right heel to the buttocks, so nice and tight. And then we're going to lean into the left side of the body. Wrap your left shoulder blade, squeeze left thigh, and maybe you can come up onto the fingertips of that right hand. Let me move the block, sorry guys. Maybe lift in the thumb, maybe the little finger, ring finger, middle finger, balancing on the first finger. Maybe you can lean a little more into that left side, the body nice and strong, and maybe then lifting that right hand up to the hip without falling out to the side. 1 more breath. And come back. 3-leg downward dog. Well done to downward facing dog. Woohoo! Okay, from here, shifting the weight into the right side. Lift left leg. Heel to butt. Open out. Leaning into the right side. Wrap that right shoulder blade. So turn your bicep to face forward on the right side. Squeeze right thigh. Keep dragging, keep pressing that heel to the butt. Lifting up onto the fingertips of the left hand if that's there for you, and lifting 1 finger at a time before you come onto the first finger. Maybe you can grip on a bit more right side so that you can lift your left hand, whoops, up to the hip. If you fall, just laugh and come back. And left hand down, 3-leg downward dog, downward facing dog. Well done. Take a nice big breath in through the nose. Exhale, let it go through the mouth. And then we're going to walk or step up to the top of the mat. Lengthen forward, inhale in, and exhale as you fold in. Press through the heels. Let's rise up. Lift those ribs away from the hips, and bring the hands to heart center. Well done. Okay, so let's take another 4 breaths here. So feet at hip width apart. Legs are strong, drawing the buttocks towards the floor. Lift ribs away from pelvis. Pressing those hands together. Shoulder blades dropping down the back. Neck nice and long. Strong Ujjayi breaths. So we're going to flow And we're going to do this with power. Constant movement to keep the heart rate up, except when we're holding some of the balances. It's going to be fun. Bring a little smile to your face. And as you exhale, bring the arms by the side. Inhale and lifting up. Watch the lower back there if you're going to come into that standing back bend. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, lengthen forward. Stepping your left foot back. Come down onto the left knee. Okay, so from here, I'd like you to inhale as you sink the hips towards your right heel. And then we're going to go back, bringing the bum to the left heel as you lift up your right toes. Inhale, come forward, so walking with the hands. Exhale, go back, sinking the bum down. Inhale, come forward, that's it, well done guys. Exhale, going back. So just opening up into the back of that right leg, well done. Inhaling, coming forward, left hip flexors stretching. Exhale, go back. From here, inhale, come forward into your lunge and then step back into high plank. So choices here. From your high plank, you can lower down chaturanga, then cobra and downward facing dog. Or if you like, just go straight back from your plank to downward facing dog. You choose, make your way back there now. We're going to take one breath here, then inhale as you lift your left leg. We're going to bring the knee to the chest as you exhale. Inhale, push up, create some space here to bring your left foot onto the floor next to your left hand. Drop the right knee down. Then inhale, we're going to sink the hips towards the left heel, and as you exhale, sit back into your half Hanumanasana. Inhale, go back. Exhale, coming down. Well done. So as you go back, try and lift those left toes. It helps get you a bit more of a stretch over the back of the left side. Inhale, come forward, sink the hips. Exhaling as you go back. From here, inhale, come forward, and then we're going to press into the hands and that left foot as you kick that right leg into your standing split. Inhale here, exhale, tap that right foot on the floor. Keep the leg straight the whole time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Well done. Inhale, lift. If you need a little bend in the left knee, that's fine. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. We're going to do one more after this. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. Bend that right knee, soften the left, bring the foot down to join the left. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhaling as you fold. Well done. Press through the heels, rising up. And as you exhale, we're going to fold. Inhaling, lengthen forward. From here, we're going to walk, step or jump back. If you're jumping back, go chaturanga. Stepping back to plank. Wherever you are, make your way to downward facing dog. So these are options for those who don't have a comfortable chaturanga yet. I'm not going to teach it because I want us to focus more on the hips. Okay, from here, we're going to bend the knees and we're going to walk, step or float to the top of the mat. Lengthen forward. And as you exhale, folding in. Press through the heels, inhaling as you rise up. Draw the buttocks to the floor, lift ribs, biceps go past the ears. Exhaling as you fold. Well done. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, walk, step or jump back. If you're jumping back, go straight to chaturanga. Those who are in plank, make your way to downward facing dog, going directly or via your chaturanga. From here, we're going to lift your right leg. As you exhale, bring the knee into the chest, coming forward, and then bring your right foot down, just shy of the right hand. Bring your left foot in. Make sure your block is up by the top right hand corner of your mat. And then from here, keeping those hips nice and square, we're going to either bring the hands to the floor or you can bring your hands to your hips. So just do whatever feels right for you, as long as you are feeling a stretch through the back of that right leg. Probably a bit through the left as well. We're going to inhale as you lift those ribs forward of the pelvis, shoot the right hip back, and exhale, fold in. Lengthen and fold. Lengthen and fold. So there's a real tendency here for that right hip to shoot forward and for you to go into a twist. So keep those hips nice and square. Think about squeezing sit bones together, lifting belly button up to spine so you've got that stability through the hips and the core, allowing you to fold. Grab your block and have your block just by your right foot. From here, we're going to cross the left hand over the body and find the block with both hands. So I'll come up to the screen here to show you. So you want to hold your block like this, crossed over the body. Yeah? Check that you haven't twisted into the hips, so shoot that right hip back. And then from here, as long as it feels okay for you, I want you to press a little harder through the left hand and then bring your right hand around onto your lower back. Then revolve in the right side of the chest around, so that we're creating a twist here using the shoulders, but the hips and the core are nice and stable. Those with a big bend in that right knee come onto the block at a higher level. Okay, so we want to try to have both legs straight in this pose. We're going to inhale as you shoot right hip back, lengthen forward and revolve round. Well done, doing a great job here, guys. Revolve Trikonasana. 2 more breaths here. Bring yourself around, find your block and take your block to the other side of your mat, so to the left-hand side of the mat. Then come back into this pose, taking hold of the lower back, and then we're going to bend your right knee a little as you then kick the left leg behind, coming into your revolved half moon. Now those of you who are comfortable here, you can lift that right hand up to the sky. Well done. So the legs are in an L shape, and the chest is facing the right side of the room. We're going to hold for another 5 breaths. Those who are really comfortable here, you can bend that top knee and find the foot with your right hand, kicking the foot into the hand and maybe looking to the floor, press through your right big toe knuckle, and then as you kick the foot into the hand, maybe lifting up into your revolved dancer pose. Heart forward. Well done. Having 1 breath there as we come back down into our revolved half moon. That's a tricky manoeuvre at this time in the morning. Inhale in, and then we're going to turn to face the mat. Well done. So you've got your right foot on the mat and your hands either side of that right foot. From here, we're going to squeeze sit bones together, and then we're going to walk those hands around to the right foot, so to the right side of your mat, ballooning those left ribs towards the top left-hand corner of your mat. Breathe. I know that that right leg is starting to struggle. Just 2 more breaths. Stretch those left ribs. Well done. Watch that that left leg doesn't kick out to the side. Inhale as you come back to center. I want you to kick your left leg high. Bring the heel to the bum. Bring the knees together. Just 1 more pose in this little sequence. You can stay here in your standing split, or you can walk those hands back. Take the hands either side of the foot. You can turn your fingers to face the back of the room and then start to walk back and bring that right leg on the diagonal as you come into your humble flamingo pose. It's crazy for the core. 1 more breath here. And come forward, soften the right knee and bring the left foot down. Feet are hip width distance apart. Well done. Take a big breath in. Exhale, fold in, soften the knees, press through the heels, rising up, inhale. And exhale as you fold forward. Well done. Inhale, lengthen forward. We're going to walk, step or float back. I think I'll just do a little step back this time. Inhale in here in your high plank. And from here, make your way back to downward facing dog. Go directly if you wish, or chaturanga. Watch those shoulders don't go below the elbows. If you're coming into your back bend, squeeze shoulder blades together. Lovely. Now your block should already be at the left-hand side. We're then going to lift your left leg. As you exhale, bend the knee, come forward into plank. Inhale, lift, 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 and bring your left foot just shy of the left hand. Well done. Right foot comes in, toes forward as much as you can. From here, coming into your Parshvottanasana, your pyramid, on the other side. So fingers on the floor or hands on the hips, you choose. Shooting the left hip back. Ribs come forward and we fold. Squeeze sit bones together. Nice. So think about bringing that spine out the pelvis. So when we're working into the hips, we're working above and below the hips as well in order to get a really deep stretch. Working with your strength, knowing where you need to feel the strength in order for you to create a healthy letting go. Well done. One more breath here. And then we're going to bring the hands onto your block, which should be just outside your left foot. So left hand on the block, right arm crosses over the body. Keep shooting that left hip back. Quads are strong. Squeeze sit bones together and lift belly up to spine. So there's our stability. Maybe a bit more stability through right triceps as you push down into the block and then bring your left hand onto the lower back. Excuse me. So we're creating the twist here using the shoulders. The shoulders facing the left side of the room. That looks really amazing. Well done. Nice, Claire. Excuse me. Lovely. Once again, thinking about bringing the spine out the pelvis. Exhaling as you twist round. So visualize that twist into the thoracic spine. The portion of the spine just behind the heart there. Well done. One more breath. And then from here, just bring your left hand back onto the lower back. Take your block over to the right hand side. And then we're going to kick that right leg behind to 90 degrees and then revolve that left side of the chest around once again as you come into your revolved half moon. So squeeze and sit bones together, legs are strong, belly lifting up to the spine, reaching away from the pelvis with those ribs and twisting round. 5 more breaths. Those who want to give their revolved dancer a try, right heel to the buttock, then take hold of that foot with your left hand, coming back round into your twist for 1 breath, and then turning to face the floor, press through your left big toe, kick the foot into the hand, and we lift up into your revolved dancer pose. Heart forward, kicking that foot into the hand. Well done. 1 breath as we then come down. Opening back out into your revolved half moon. Well done. And then we all turn to face the floor. Keep that back leg behind. I know the left leg is struggling. Keep it going. Well done. Squeeze legs together and then walk the hands around to the left side of your mat. Balloon right ribs towards the right corner of your mat. Try to avoid that leg flinging out to the side. Everything into the center line. Balloon right ribs towards the corner of the mat. Well done. We've got 1 more breath here. Coming back into center. We lift back up into that standing split. The right leg goes high. Bring the right heel to the buttock. Bring both knees together. So you're in this standing split with the right knee bent. You can stay here, folding in if you like. Or if you want to give your flamingo, humble flamingo a try, bring the hands either side of the foot. Turn the fingers to face behind you. And then we're just going to sit back. He says it like it's so easy, huh? Some lovely core work here. Well done. Keep drawing that right heel to buttock. Sit back. Use the fingers. Use the right left thigh. and coming back in. Soften left knee and bring right foot down, hip width apart from your left. Fold in, press through the heels, and we're going to rise up. And exhale, bring the hands to heart. Well done. Let's take another 4 breaths here as you bring yourself back in. So the legs probably feeling pretty alive here. Slow the heartbeat down. Use the breath to tell the nervous system that everything's okay. You're all good. You can deal with this challenge. Absolutely. Okay. Inhaling. Arms come up. And as you exhale, coming down. Inhale, lengthen forward. And then from here, we're going to walk, step or float back. If you're floating back, hold your chaturanga. Those who are in high plank, lower down or go straight back to downward facing, and then bring yourselves through if you're in anything but downward facing before coming to downward facing dog. Well done. Okay, so bend the knees, walk the feet forward. A little bit of work into the upper body here. So shoulders are over wrists. It's almost like you're on all fours, but with the toes tucked and the knees lifted. Push the chest away from the floor, wrap the shoulder blades. We're going to inhale as you extend your right leg back. Exhale, bring the right knee into the chest. Let's do 4 more of these. Inhale, reaching back. Exhale, coming in. Inhale back. Exhale, come in. Inhale back. Exhale, bring the foot down. Well done. Let's keep it going, other side. Inhale. So the only thing moving is that left leg. The knee coming into the chest, lift. Watch that your right knee doesn't lift. Exhaling in. Feeling the arms and the shoulders working here. Well done. Inhale back. And bring that left foot down. Well done. From here, we're going to bring the left foot and point it towards your right hand as you then step the right foot back and come into a side lunge. So you've got your left toes on the diagonal up towards the right corner of your mat, and then the right toes pointing towards the back corner of your mat. From here, we're just going to drop down. So the bum back and down. So right knee bent. Some of you may prefer here, if you can, to bring the hands down. Some of you might want to lift those left toes. Some of you might want to come into a bind. So you choose, coming into Skandasana here. If you're taking the bind, revolve that left side of the chest around. So do what works for you, okay? Here is grand. As long as you're feeling a release, that's all that matters. These options are here just for those who need that challenge. Work with your body and where it's at. Okay, from here, walk the hands onto the floor, and we're now going to bring the toes in and the heels out. So we're in this wide leg straddle here. Bring your hands onto your hips if they don't reach the floor. We're going to press into the outer edges of the feet. Spread your sit bones. Inhale, lift the ribs forward, and exhale, fold. Inhale, spread sit bones, pressing into the outer edges of the feet. Exhale, fold. This should go really deep into hamstrings and inner thighs. Lift the ribs away from the pelvis, folding in. We've got 1 more breath here. Well done. Cross your left hand over the body and find your right leg. We're going to bend the left elbow a little bit and bring your right hand onto your lower back, revolving the right side of the chest round, or you can take that hand all the way around and find your left thigh. Keep pressing through the outer edges of the feet. Balloon your left ribs towards that left foot. and exhale, go deeper into your twist. Well done. So we're stretching the left side of the body as we come into the twist. Well done. Inhale in, lengthen. As you pull on your right leg, bring yourself closer to that right foot and shoot the ribs to your left foot. One more breath. Come back into your forward fold. Now, those of you who want to give an inversion a try, let's try, in fact, no, we'll do a little bit of handstand preparation. So bring your hands down onto the floor. Bend your knees as much as you need to in order to get the hands on the floor. I want you to spread your fingers as wide as you can. Grip on with the fingertips. Press through the heels of your palm and the back of the knuckles. Turn your biceps to face forward so the arms are nice and straight. Push the chest up away from the floor, and then what we're going to do is start to lean forward. Bring the shoulders over the wrists. I want you to see a big crease in your wrists. And then we're going to lift the heels, and we're going to start to tip forward. Coming forward. Squeeze those thighs. Feel those hip flexors working hard, going into the core. And some of you might want to work on starting to push forward and bring those hips over the shoulders. And some of you may be able to lift up into a handstand. I certainly can't. Not like this anyway. One more breath. And come back to the safety of your heels. Well done. From here, have a look at your right foot, and then we're going to turn that right foot and come into a lunge. So you're facing the back of your mat. If that's too complicated for you, face the front and just make sure that you've got your right foot at the top and your left leg behind. So right foot up at the top, the right knee bent, left leg behind. We can take our time, it's okay. I'd like you then to reach your left hand away diagonally and then come onto the top of your left foot. So in one move, we're going to simultaneously turn the heart to face your right knee, and we're going to internally rotate that left leg. So it's a move like this. Yeah? Let me show you this way on. So we're going to hold on to this right knee. Your left hand is away diagonally, and then you're going to twist around, pulling back on this shin here. So pull this arm back and then lower the hip to the floor as you twist it around. It's an internal rotation, so you're rotating in to the center line. And then we're going to balloon those left ribs towards the left corner of your mat. This is lounge lizard. Breathe really deeply into the left ribs. Well done. Okay, so from here, just twist yourself back round. Bring your left hand directly underneath the left shoulder, and then we're going to shuffle your right foot so that it comes to hip level with the toes pointing out to the side. And then you're going to press into the outer edge of your left foot. So it's a side plank with the right leg crossed over. I told you this would be a bit unfamiliar. Have a check with how you're feeling. From here, we're going to inhale as you lift the chest and reach your right arm overhead. And then as you exhale, I want you to lower your hips and reach the right arm away from you down the mat. Inhale, lift up. So lift right hip. Exhale, sink the left hip to the floor and reach your right hand away from you. Inhale, lift. So we've got a stretch of the right side as you lift up. Exhale, lower down and reach through that right hand. Well done. Inhale, lift. And as you exhale, coming down. Well done. Okay, so from here, sit your left bum cheek on the floor and cross your left knee in front and bring the right on top. Now, it may not be possible for you here to get this sit bone on the ground. So if you want, you can stretch your left leg out in front. That's fine. As long as you've got your right leg crossed over. Inhale as you press down through the sit bones, lift up through the top of the head and fold yourself in, just hugging onto that right knee. Those of you who are here, you may be able to take the feet either side of the hips and come into Gomukhasana. Well done. So we're stretching the outer hips in this sequence, stretching the sides of the body. It's challenging, I know. It's meant to be. And you're doing an amazing job. I'm intentionally confusing you as well, okay? I mean to. I want you to see how you react when you're going into unknown territory and how you keep yourself present and how you save yourself from going into that place where you say, oh, I can't bloody do this, I'm shit. You know? You're not. You're doing amazing. Just bring yourself back. It's okay, let go of what we just did. So this is a moment just to bring yourself back. Quieten that negative mind and come back into your lovely breath. One more here. And inhale as you come up. Okay, so from here, right leg to the top of the mat, and then I want you to step your left leg behind. We're going to pivot on the left foot and we're going to come into your side angle. So we've got right foot at the top of the mat, right knee bent. You're leaning onto this right knee. We're revolving the left side of the chest round. Find your lower back. Maybe reach the arm up overhead. You can choose. If you like here, you can swing this arm around and work into that left shoulder. So just a few options here. Now, those of you who want to try something a little more challenging, bring your right hand down inside the foot. Then get your right shoulder underneath that knee. Finding that left hand with the right. Coming into your bind. If you've got the bind and you want to stay here, that's fine. Those who want to try a balance, look to your right big foot and bring the left foot to the top of the mat. So we're in this kind of bound forward fold here. A bit like a half Titibhasana. Pressing through your left foot, lift up the right heel. We're coming into bird of paradise. Left leg strong. And maybe you can start to lift. Whoops. Once you're up, chest nice and open and straightening up that right leg. Well done. And coming down with the same control. You went up, opening out. And there we go from here. Well done. And then from here, bring your hands down inside the foot. Doing a great job, guys. Pivot on that back foot. And then we're going to kick that right leg back into your three-leg downward dog. Bend the knee, open the hip. Well done. And then come back, drop down onto your knees, knees wide, sit the bum back on the heels and have a little chill. Woo! Great job. 2 more breaths here. So we're going to do the other side. Delightful. Okay, so coming back onto all fours. And then lift your knees. And from here, we're going to inhale as you kick your left leg back. Exhale, knee comes into chest, lift. Keep that right knee stable. Inhale, left leg back, hip height. Exhale, crunch it in, lift. Inhale, back. This is number 3. Exhale, come in, number 4. Inhale, back. And bring that foot down. Well done. We're doing the other side. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, bring the knee into the chest, lift. Inhale, go back. Keep that left knee stable. Exhale, coming in. Upper body feeling this now. Well done. Inhale back. Number 4. Exhale, come in. Inhale back. And then I want you to bring your right foot all the way through, and you're going to come into your side lunge on the left side. So we've got the left knee bent and the right leg straight. Left knee bent, right leg straight. Left knee bent, right leg straight. Okay? So, bum back and down. If you want to lift that here, lift the toes on that right foot, you can. Sinking down, maybe bringing the hands onto the floor, maybe pushing that left shoulder, into the left knee or just above, and sinking down into your Skandasana. So lovely stretch here for that right inner thigh. Just a moment to chill. And then from here we're going to lift up and come into your wide leg forward fold. So hands on the hips, toes in, heels out. Lengthen forward, exhale, folding in. So I've got a slightly different option for you this time. Bringing your hands onto the floor. So the hands are going to be shoulder width distance apart. Bend your knees as much as you need to. And then we're going to have a triangle which we create with the head and the hands. So it's like this. Hands here and head in front. From there, if your knees are bent, absolutely fine. What you can do is bring your knees onto your triceps and come into your tripod crow pose. Okay, so I'll show you sideways on. If you've got the knees bent as you come down, then bring the knees onto the arms. We've got 90-degree bend at the elbow there. So if your forearms aren't straight, you're going to struggle here. Now those of you who have got the legs straight, what you could do is lift those heels, squeeze the thighs, activate core and lift. So holding for a few breaths and then coming down. Those who are in Bakasana, your tripod, maybe what you'd like to try, if this is super easy for you, is bringing the knees into the chest and then pressing up. Have a play. Those of you with cervical spine issues won't have done any of that, so what I'd like you to do is try this, like we did before. Have a play, let me see. So remember, head in front of the hands, a triangle with the hands and the head. Well done, Em. Biceps forward, push the chest away, legs going like crazy. Yes. Yes. That's it, well done. Well done, guys. Well done. Woo! Okay. From here, come back into your forward fold. And then what we're going to do is cross that right hand over to the left leg. Bend your right elbow and bring the left hand around onto the lower back or onto that right thigh. So we've got a bend in the right elbow, allowing you to pull yourself towards that left foot, and then I want you to use your breath to stretch the right side of the body towards your right foot. So we pull this way, and then the ribs go that way. One more breath. And then from here, bring your hands down, turn your left foot so that it's facing the top of your mat, and then turn yourself around so that you come into your lunge position, your lizard position, sorry. So left knee forward, right leg behind. And we're going to work into that lizard lounge lizard even. So we're going to bring your left hand onto the thigh, onto the shin here, and pull that left elbow back, the right hand reaching away diagonally, and then we're going to twist around. So we plug this right arm into the shoulder, let those ribs drop down, and we pull the elbow back, breathing into your right ribs, internally rotating your right thigh. I'll show you from here. So we go from here and we twist the hip towards the floor, shoot those ribs towards that right hand, and we pull back with left hand. Let me show you this way on. So we pull back and we shoot these ribs towards that right heel, right hand. Well done, guys. One more breath. From here, just lift yourself back up, bring that right hand onto the mat, and then we're going to bring this left foot around so that the left toes are about in the middle of your mat and pointing out to the side. And then you're going to lift up into a side plank on the right side with your left leg crossed over. Inhaling as you lift up, reach the left hand overhead, lift the left hip high, exhale, lower right hip down and reach through your left hand. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Try to keep the hips skimming the floor so that you get more of a stretch into the right side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower and reach. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Well done. And then from here, sit on your right hip, cross the right leg underneath and bring the left on top. Okay, so options here. Right leg out straight with the left leg crossed over. You can have it crossed, or you can come into your Gomukhasana with those knees stacked on top of one another. Do what works for you. We're going to inhale as you lift the heart and exhale, folding in. Use this time to chill, to check in. I'm going to show you a really fun arm balance in a moment. Once again, so that was the second time doing that particular flow. Maybe it felt a bit better that time. If it didn't, that's fine as well. That's okay too. I want to remind you that this class is a challenging class. It's meant to push your buttons. At the very least, if you're frustrated at this, it can help release some of that frustration energy that you might be feeling elsewhere that you can't do anything about. Emotions are energy in motion. So if we express, often the source doesn't really matter. Okay, guys. Coming up, and then from here, we're going to come into your lunge position once again on... Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, that's right. Left foot forward and right leg behind. Okay, so we're going to pivot on that right foot and come into your side angle again. Now, those of you who are feeling like you don't want to go crazy here and do this arm balance, you can continue exploring here. Keep that back leg nice and strong. Maybe swinging this arm around just to open up into right shoulder. Those who want to have a go at Vishvamitrasana, follow me. So from here, we bring the left hand down inside the foot. And then from here, we're going to bring this left hand through and bring your left foot just in a little bit. Keep pressing through the outer edge of that right foot. And then use your right arm to find the top of your left foot. We then lean into the left upper arm as you lift your right foot. You can bend that right knee a little if you want to. And then in order to come into the full pose, we then straighten up that left leg and bring the head through that little loop that you've created. Straightening up your right leg at the same time. It's super challenging. Let's have a little look. Of course, you can stay in your side angle, that's fine. So reach in that right arm up M and taking it to your, bring your head underneath. That's okay. It's super challenging, it's okay. It's something to work towards. Well done, guys. And then from here, bring your hands down and we're going to kick that left leg up behind. Bend the knee, open the hip. And from here, feet down, knees wide, and sit back. Have a moment. Woohoo! Okay, so from here, what I'd like you to do is come up into downward facing dog and then bring yourself to seated, facing me. All right, so yeah, I've got a real fun pose for you actually. Let's give it a go. So bring your left shin in front. So we've got the left shin crossed over. It's a bit like what you would do in pigeon pose. And then we're going to take hold of the right foot with the left hand and then take hold of that knee with the same hand. And we're going to have a little bit of a move here. Now, those of you who've got your block and you're struggling to get both sit bones down, just bring the block alongside that left hip or even the right hip. Just do what feels right for you so that you feel grounded. And then we're going to have a little play here. You can maybe lift up the knee, lift up the foot. So continuing to play here, maybe you can bring your foot into the elbow and then interlace the fingers together. Let's see if that's available to you. It's okay if it's not. Well done. Cradling the baby here. Nice. Okay. So from here, take hold with the hand again, and we're going to thread your right arm through. So thread it through the loop that you've created here. And then take hold round the back of the heel between the thumb and the forefinger. So your little web here, take that round the back of the heel. And then hold on to the back of the ankle, and start to thread your right elbow through. That's it. Okay. Can you bring your hands down and still keep this leg crossed over your upper arm? So it needs to be on the upper arm rather than on the elbow. If it's any lower than the elbow, don't do what I'm about to show you. Just work on the depth. Those of you who have that leg hooked around your right arm, bring your left leg out in front. Press your left heel into the ground and push down, lifting the bum, and then maybe you can lift your left heel as well. Or not. But what you can do is also try this pose. So if your right hand comes down and you've still got hold of that right foot, maybe you can start to bring your head underneath this loop that you've created. And those who can do this, take a nice big breath in and see if you can straighten up your right leg. Press into the floor with your right hand. Press the thigh into the arm and resist. Compass pose, sometimes with the leg bent. And release, well done. And do whatever you need to do to release. Usually this is nice. So I find after I've practiced that particular pose, everything just feels so open and free. But it's challenging, okay? It's challenging. I can't apologise for this. Bring your right knee in front. Stabilise that left hip if you need to. And then take hold of the left foot with the right hand and like so with the knee. And just have a little play. So it's usually this that means that you can't get that arm far enough through. It's the hip flexibility that's usually the problem. Well, I say problem. Opportunity to practice self-compassion. Yeah? If you want to go for this variation, you can. So just encouraging that left foot towards that left shoulder as you go a little deeper into the pose. You could do this while watching TV, if that's your thing. Hip work can't be rushed. It's a bit like emotional work. You know, often we just need to let things take their course and just continually keep working at it. What I often like to say to clients is keep fucking going. That's all you can do. Right, so taking hold of that foot with the hand, thread your left arm through your loop. Bring the web of the thumb and the forefinger around the back of that ankle. Push up and elbow through. Elbow through. And then we're looking to bring this knee onto the upper arm or onto the shoulder. Once you've got it hooked around and it's stable, bring your hands down and kick your right leg in front. Keep it hooked around. Core work here, guys. Press the hands down. Press into your right heel. Take a nice big inhalation. And as you exhale, push, activate, lift. Squeeze your right thigh and lift. And coming down. Well done. Okay, those of you who didn't try that, you're probably still here. That's cool. So stretch your left arm away. Just protect that left elbow. Okay, so ideally we want this knee higher than the elbow. If you're there, push the arm into the thigh. Push the thigh into the arm and then thread your head through. If you want to bend your bottom leg, you can. Now my left hip lifts up a bit in this pose. Not the end of the world. Breathe into the right side of the body there. Lift. Lifting your head towards that top foot. And release. Ooh. Take the hands behind and lift up, opening the chest there. Well done. Come down onto the floor. We're going to do a nice twist to finish, just like we did at the beginning. So this time, cross your right knee over the left. Lift your hips up, take them over to the right, and then let your knees fall out to the left. So we've got the knees together. So knees together, right over left, hips up, over to the right, to make it a bit more comfortable for you to get those knees over to the left. Take your left hand and bring it to the top of that right thigh. Take your right hand and bring it onto the right lower ribs. Both shoulder blades on the ground, head looking up. Squeeze the legs together. Inhale as you press the left hand into the thigh, so you're pushing that right thigh away. Lift your right ribs. And as you exhale, encourage those right ribs out to the side. So a lovely stretch for the front of the body there. Inhale in. So try and increase the distance between your hands. And as you exhale, encourage right ribs towards the side. So we're stretching the abdomen here. 2 more breaths. Bringing the hips back in, unravel the legs, hug the knees in towards the chest. And then from here, left foot down, right knee crosses over left. Lift your hips up, hips over to the left, knees fall out to the right. Obviously those of you who can take a wrap underneath that calf, you can do, it just helps keep those legs together. Keeping the shoulder blades on the ground, the head looking up, and then bring your right hand onto your left thigh, just at the top there. Left hand onto left lower ribs. Inhale as you press the hand into the thigh and lift the ribs. Exhale, encouraging left ribs out to the side. So these are tiny internal movements. Feel your abdomen stretch. Squeeze those legs together. Inhale, press, right hand, lift left. Exhale, left ribs going out to the side. And you might feel the back of the left ribs start to come to the floor. Really big breaths. Stretch the abdomen and then encourage those left ribs out to the side. Well done. We've done a lot of crunching in, a lot of core work here. So just looking to rebalance there. 1 more. Coming back into centre, lift the hips, bring them into centre, unravel the legs, hug those knees in towards the chest. As you exhale, bring the nose up towards the knees, squeeze all the air out. And inhale as you release into your Shavasana. And like we started with, let's take 3 tension releasing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Maybe clenching everything on your inhale. And as you exhale, let it go. 1 more. Coming into stillness. Allow the body to settle in, making any little adjustments that you need to in order to become comfortably still. No longer controlling the breath, just allow the natural and spontaneous breath to move through your body, the breath doing its own thing. Mind softening, body becoming heavy. Let's slip into that yin energy as you allow the body to melt into the floor like heavy candle wax. Feel rooted down there. Trust your breath to do what it needs to do, and bring your attention into the center of your chest. Your heart. One of the most wonderful benefits of challenging ourselves is that we get to see what we're capable of. We expand the possibilities of what we can experience in life. And this is usually hard work. It usually involves facing fears, stepping into unfamiliar situations, and it can be really easy to make that process even harder with judgment. two key principles of yoga before we even get into the physical practice, which are santosha and tapas. Your santosha is contentment and tapas is fire. We need the fire in order to move forward, but that has to be practiced alongside santosha, that contentment. Being able to say to yourself, I'm doing the best I can, and that's good enough. It doesn't mean that you will rest on your laurels. Trust yourself to keep moving forward, to keep finding that challenge, that need to expand yourself. And if you can balance that with contentment, then you can enjoy the process far more, because you get to see what you're doing rather than looking for what's coming next. I think it's one of the biggest challenges in life, actually. We can always do better. But by focusing solely on that, we lose the opportunity to see where we are and to enjoy that. So just allow yourself now to let go of everything and practice that stillness and contentment. If the mind wanders, use your wonderful natural breath to keep the mind in this moment here, not in the past, not in the future, just here. Those of you who wish to enjoy even more of this wonderful feeling and contentment, then you stay here and you can either pause or ignore what I'm saying, and you come out of this when you're ready. Thank you so much for sharing today. And for everybody else, we're going to slowly start to come back. Come back into your body. See your body lying heavy there, rooted down into the ground. Start to explore your body using the breath. So take a deep intentional breath down into the belly. Feel that warm glow of energy that you've just inhaled now spread through your body, from your chest all the way down the legs, the arms, to the fingers and the toes and the top of the head. Feel alive just by using your breath. Take another big breath in. Energize once again. Feel that energy spread through your body like a warm glow from your heart of contentment, acceptance, joy. And start to move your body now. So really bringing together those separate parts of you, the body, the mind, the breath, and your spirit. Moving the elbows, the shoulders, the knees, the hips, giving the head a little rock side to side. And then take a delicious big breath in as you stretch your arms overhead and the legs out in front. Enjoy that additional space that you've created in your body. Hugging the knees towards the chest. Coming over onto whichever side feels good. And take a moment there just to make sure that you're back in your body, that you know it's just after 10:15 on Monday the 11th of May. We're back here. Let's avoid thinking about what's coming next for just a few more moments. Lift yourself up, keeping that neck nice and soft. Press your top hand into the ground. Sitting up nice and tall and proud. How amazing you are. Bring your hands together into prayer position. Rest the thumbs against your heart. And let's take a big breath in. And as you exhale, I want you to bring to mind anything at all that you're grateful for about you. Appreciate yourself. If you're struggling, then know that you're seeking to find something is amazing in itself. Enjoy how it feels to appreciate yourself as you are, as we look to still the mind and challenge ourselves with that gratitude, that contentment, you start to realise that everything is just perfect, that there are always lessons, there are always challenges, and we can get far more from them if we're able to be still and appreciate what we have. So to close the practice and bring us together before we leave, let's take a breath together, inhaling. And as you exhale, gently blinking your eyes open, thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. Well done, everybody. Have an amazing day, guys. I hope to see you soon, and I will. Well, thank you. Bye, guys. See you later. Lots of love. Hey, Karen. Oh, that's okay. Don't worry about it.